That light is bright. And Kai, I don't know how I can follow that. Holy smokes, guy. That was amazing. So this poem is called What Would Jesus Do? Sing in the Key of Forgiveness. I won't ever walk on water. I won't ever make water wine. I won't ever heal the sick or give sight back to the blind. But I can try to walk the same as the man who did these things. He gave his life so we be saved. He gave his blood to break these chains of sin that I was drowning in. I wasn't really living till I was forgiven. He set me free. He gave me peace, and he gave me keys to the gates of heaven. So if you ask me if I love you, I'll say I do. And when I say I love you, it's a promise too, to try to do the same things he would do. But because I'm lost without direction, since I know I'll never know perfection, sometimes I ask myself this question: what would Jesus do? If I was him or he was me, if I could live my life more perfectly, where would I go? What would I say? What would I do if I could walk that way? Well, maybe I'd raise my daughters to be patient and be kind. And babies, I will love your mother with all my heart for all my life. And with that final breath I take when I meet St. Peter at the gates, when he asks me for my key, I'll say, praise the Lord, he's forgiven me. And the next one, there's a little background. I had a friend named Dave Hurt who passed away of a rare disease, and his cousin was his best friend, and they were raised like brothers. They were both only children. And this is a recreation of the day that I had when we said our goodbye. You were just a young man, and I don't understand how it was part of God's plan to take you home now. You still had some life to live. You still had some love to give. How did it come to this? I'm missing you now. I called our good friend and I shared the sad news. We sat and we talked about what we should do. So we found some more friends and we shared the sad news. We sat and we cried and we listened to blues. And then we all said, rest easy, my friend. Rest easy, my friend, till we meet again. We cried till we laughed. And then we laughed till we cried. And then we spent the whole day just saying goodbye. There were tears in our beers and sad songs in our hearts. And we sat with you until long after dark. And then we all said, rest easy, my friend. Rest easy, my friend, till we meet again. Then I'll buy you a beer and I'll buy you a shot and I'll sit at the bar and I'll save you a spot. And I'll close the bar down. I'll leave all your drinks there in memory of you, the times that we shared. Then I'll buy you a beer, I'll buy you a shot, and we'll sit at the bar and we'll sing at the top of our lungs and we'll sing all of your favorite songs and we'll have the whole bar singing along. Rest easy, my friend, till we meet again. I was at the market when I overheard a loud little voice just bursting with excitement and enthusiasm. His voice trumpeted over the hustle and bustle of the people shopping around me. Mama! Mama, Mira! I glanced over and I saw a little boy. He had a round little face and a thick mop of dark black hair, and he was pulling on his mother's hand. He pointed with his other. Mira, Mama! Mira! Mira, Mama! Mira! I would have known what he was saying in any language. Some things are universal. Look, Mom! Look! Look, Mommy! Look! I chuckled to myself. His outburst was innocent and sweet, and I certainly couldn't deny his excitement, but I was struck by a much deeper thought. No matter where we live, no matter what language we speak, no matter what our background is, we all know some of the same things. We all know, or at least we used to know, that same feeling of childlike wonder, that joyful sense of excitement, the intense desire to share our awe. We all remember that compulsion to make ourselves known when we are still uninhibited, totally unconcerned by what other people may think. Look, Mama, look, I'm over here. His words were truth with a capital T. His words transcended any language barrier or difference in culture and also told of that special bond between mother and child. 1,000 different sets of ears could hear his words, and all of them would instantly know. She was his world, and he was showing her what he had discovered. Mira, Mama, mira. And it made sense that he would want to share whatever it was with his mother. She had known him longer than anyone. She knew him even before he was born. She was his everything. She would always be the first person he ever told. Because he had always made himself known, even before he was born, possibly with a gentle or not so gentle kick. She knew he was there. Mama, look. Thank you. And let me find the warden. Here we are. This is for my friend Sam. I wake and I sip in silence quietly. I turn the page so not to wake the monster in its cage. It's still sleeping, unaware that I'm reading, enjoying the morning sun, my coffee, free for a moment from the pain, from the monster in its cage. When it's small, I can manage. I carry its weight, hiding it deep within. But it grows, and I can feel it in my bones, beneath my skin. When it awakens, it shakes the bars. It demands the guard. Bring the keys. It screams to be released, so we struggle. It bites and claws while I smile and hold it at arm's length. But sometimes I grow weary, and I just want it to go away. I'm tempted to find a way to numb the pain, but I can't kill the monster because we're chained together forever, ever. And I move ever so slowly as I cradle the cage, knowing at the end of the day we sleep, but I rise early to start my day, and I sip in silence, quiet, smiling, so I don't rouse the monster in its cage. Thank you. And actually, I might do one more to lighten this place up a little bit on the way out. Have you guys had anything to drink? Do you want to hear something funny at the end? All right, this one's called Sunflower. It's just kind of a songy rhyme I wrote once when I was about 17, and it's stuck in my head, so I'm going to share it with you. She's the only one I ever knew, a flower seed spit on the sun. She liked it there, and so she grew. She never knew she was the only one. There was nowhere she could go, and there was no one she could know. So how could she even be? Well, that's the greatest mystery. But she had a lot of solar flare, and she had sunshine in her hair. She had a sparkle so divine that if you could see, it'd make you cry. But somehow she knew she was alone, and this could never be her home. So she hitched her wagon to a star, and she headed down the boulevard. She hadn't made it very far when she found this place where people are. This little ball of blue and green was the most precious thing she'd ever seen. And so she stayed here for the spring. She spent the season visiting, and when it was time for her to go, she knew she had found her home. So she turned around and waved goodbye to the sun up in the sky. She said, "Don't you worry, don't you cry, you'll always be my Valentine." So this one is called Father's Day. I don't know how many of you know me, and I left home when I was 16, and I moved to Burlington, and I had a place to stay, and then I ended up homeless and I still finished high school on my own. And I wrote this, yeah, I made it. Look at me now. When I was 25, I went to Missouri to buy fireworks so I could shoot them off in Burlington illegally. And I was in the same town where my dad resides. And when I got home, I thought about why I didn't go and say hello. I know I'm not stopping to visit today. I know it doesn't matter that I'm heading your way. I earned my black belt in dealing with emotional scars, but I don't want to be wherever you are. They say home is where you hang your heart. And that's why it seems we're two worlds apart. I know you, but you don't know me. And I think that's how it'll continue to be. You see, you injured me when I was just a boy who lost his mother, a lot of joy in his life, and the things that you would say would cut like a knife. You were insensitive once. Why would I let you be insensitive twice? The way you treated all of us for all of those years, why should anyone be stopping around here? If you ever got your shit together, then maybe we'd talk. But for now, you can take a hike. I think I'll just walk. Why do you think I left when I was 16? Do you think it left because your house was too clean? I left because hope was never given a chance. I think that I'm lucky to have made it through your prison camp. The main message you're missing is a child's not a burden. They're more of a blessing. Your job as a father is to love them and raise them upright. And it's a wonder I know how to do anything other than argue and fight. Call me bookworm, scream and shout. I don't see what that's about. Who's the child here, you or me? Who's the victim of stupidity? I wrote those last lines when I was 18 years old while I was working and finishing school on my own. I was broke and I was hungry, and I walked to school with no coat, and that was still better than being at home. In this life, we all make mistakes, but we should try to fix some of the things that we break. Sometimes that first step is admitting we're wrong, and I think you, sir, have been wrong all along. If you can't earn your way out, then learn your way out. Work towards those things I've been talking about. You choose to live the way you do. You choose to have the attitude. Be it good or be it bad, I can't erase the fact that you're my dad, but I have to admit it's a little sad. I'm not proud to be your son. I'm sure these words have a hurtful flavor, and I guess I could say I'm returning the favor, but it's not my intent to cause you tears. I'm only trying to make this clear. How do you want to be remembered when you die? As the guy who was an asshole to his kids and his wife? There hasn't been one person happy living under your roof. Don't you think this is how we'll remember you? The worst part is I've never known you to try to be nice. I've never known you to be decent or kind. Your punishments were harsh. You were overly strict. I could summarize by saying you must like being a dick. As always, you claim you're not to blame. You can't help it being raised up that way. You didn't like it, and you did others the same. You made a choice to do nothing to change. Decisions, that's what you've got. There's time to think about the things your temper has cost. You could rebuild and respect the trust that you lost. Take some time to sit down and give this some thought. It's never too late to make things right. I hope what I'm conveying is just a little insight. Instead of trying to rule your family through intimidation and fear, take a hard look right in the mirror. You're 50 years old and nobody's scared. We all understand that life isn't fair. You were never much of one, but I wanted to say it anyway. Happy Father's Day.